Hello everyone, my name is Suresh and welcome to another Google Cloud Skills Booster session. So in this session, we are going to look into the lab called Predict Visitor Purchases with Classification Model in BigQuery ML. So in this session, we are going to complete the tasks provided for us, and we are not going to discuss anything about the BigQuery or any other machine learning language. This is a skewed session how to navigate and complete the lab with the provided tasks. Okay, so we are not going to discuss anything like metrics or BigQuery or machine learning or feature engineering as they mentioned over here. So we are not going to get into those details. We will not discuss here. And also we will try to complete the session as soon as possible. This session can be completed in 1 hour 15 minutes, but we don't need to get that whole time. Okay, so let me start the lab. Out in So first, I started the lab, opened the incognito mode. You can see the right side, open the incognito mode. Start. And I want you to pause the video. Maybe I will give some time so that I will pause the left side screen for a few seconds. So during that time, you can go through the overview and, and you can see what you can learn. Okay. Let's use the sign in. You can see the student ID is successfully getting signed in. And for student ID, you can go to here and there will be a password and project ID. Sometimes it asks, sometimes it directly navigates by using the link. So you can see the overview and you can see what you can learn and setup and requirements. That is what is currently going on. The setup is getting started. This is what we did. Cognito mode and logged in successful. Let me wait until this page loads. It's still in progress. Basically, there should be one pop-up. Yeah, for terms and conditions, terms and agreement. I don't know why this it's getting delayed. Basically, it should be very fast. So let's start with step navigation menu and BigQuery. Select the BigQuery. I don't know why this is taking this much of time. Maybe it could be my Wi-Fi or something, but usually this should be very fast. Got Okay, so let's click on done. And next, I had the course data set. The Explorer pane. Okay, click on add. Okay, the new project, start the project name and the additional resources. Okay, where should I add it? Or a project by name and additional resources. Hmm. Here it is, star a project by name. data. Hmm, Click start. First start. Okay. Here I got this data to insights. Okay. Click on the below link to view the public data insights to project. Okay. Let me copy this and then paste it over incognito mode. Let's see what happens. The field definition information. Yeah. Okay. If the query, it's what schema, legacy one. Okay. Now, so setup is done. Let's start with the explore e-commerce data. I am not going to read a whole scenario. I want you to pause the video and get into the whole scenario about this. Then the question, okay, for this question. And I'm just directly copying the SQL query and then pasting it over here. And run. Okay. Again, as I mentioned earlier, I'm not going to very much details. I want you to pause the video about this scenario and the question. And you see in the right side, I just copied the SQL standard SQL, and then run the query. And the result is 2.69. We can see the conversion rate 0.0269. That is the conversion rate. Okay, looking good. Now, question is top 5 selling products. Yeah, copying it is and here in the previous query. This thing and done. You can see in the right side there are a lot of changes is going on. Means isn't here. During the time you might just refer over here. You can see a lot of things. Okay. And the result, you can compare the left side result with the right side result. Most of them is same. So let me move on. And how many visitors bought a subsequent visits to the website? Okay, let me copy this. When I copy the query, now you can see the query will process. There is some information over here. I will get the whole information. And also when I try to run this, you can see there is some stages and the query pending. All these things you can see it over. Okay. And you can see the total visitors as well as the will buy on return. You can see the numbers. So you can analyze the results. You can see 1.6 of total return on purchase. Okay. And there is a question for you, which you can answer once you go through the steps in more details. Okay, that is the reason for this whole session is about 1 hour 15 minutes. Okay, but we are not going to stay for the whole time. Okay, now let's move on to task 2. Now you will create a machine learning model to predict. Okay, there are no steps to identify an objective. Okay, okay. Now actually till now what we have done is like we have explored the e-commerce data. That is the task 1. You basically see we explored 3 things, correct? So one is to total visitors versus purchase made. That was the first question, and we came about 2.6%. And second is top 5 selling products. So we got the top 5 selling products. And third is so how many revisitors has got. Okay, so that is the 3 analysis we have done. Now we got the objective. We have identified the objective of the machine learning, that is we are going to create. And third, let's select the feature and create a training set. Okay, maybe I just open this links in the incognito mode, but I'm not going to explain. I think this is what we just saw. This both are the same links. And preview of the data set. Let me open this as well. So this is the preview of the data set. Exactly, which is the earlier. Let me close this as well. So we got the preview as well as our okay. I will leave this question. What are all the risks of only about to? And you can get the answer of code. Code. I want you to put it in this view. You can see the select till limit. So okay, this is the code what I want you to understand. But at this point, I'm not going to do the like align code so that you can review it, you can understand. So I have run the code, query is completed. The results we are seeing is yes, almost the identical results we are getting the identical results. Now, which fields are the input features of the labels? You get the answer, and there are few questions. You got the answer. Oh, it's the question, and this is the answer. I'm just marking it out. Getting into the full details, but I want you guys to pause the video and get into the details. That is the real job. Okay, not running just the queries. That is not the real job. Okay? That is also part of the job. That's it. Now we are getting into the task 4. Create a BigQuery data set in store models. So let's get into this. Let me get into the Explorer mode. Here this. Click on this. Toggle this so that you get the full mode. Now in Explorer section, in the view actions, actually in this actions, this is the view actions. You can see that pop-up tooltip, view actions, create a dataset name. Actually, we are providing the formats. I'm leaving the other values as default, but for your understanding, I'm just opening it up the tags, and we can see the advanced options support the encryption keys, all the default items, all the default parameters that is there. So let me create a dataset. You can see the e-commerce dataset as got created. Let's check the progress if you want. Start looking good. So select the BigQuery ML model type and specific options. So you can see the model type as two things. One is linear regression and logistic regression. And you can see, you can understand this one is what is the model which we are planning. One is for classification, one is for forecasting. Okay. Now, will you buy in future? Use logistic for classification. Okay, let's get into this. Copy the model. Let me open the view just screenshot. Not able to view. Hold on. Let me copy it over here. Okay, yeah, this is the full view. You can see the right side. This is the full view of the query. You can see there is a classification model, logistic regression, all the rest of the things. Let me clear it. Oh, okay. Now you can see wait for the model for train for 5 to 10 minutes. What I will do is like I'll just click on run. Okay, I will wait for the 5 to 10 minutes. In the meantime, I'll pause the video. And you can see that you cannot read all the valuable data and all the save some data. So publish this add where clause used There is select from where class. Here it is. Okay, train the first 9 months. Here it is the image. Okay, 9 months. After 12-month data. So for training, they're using 9 months. That is 75%. Logically speaking, so 75%. And for evaluation and next thing, they will take. So okay, fine. Now the query is started execution. Uh, Either you can pause the video to understand this query, but what I will do is like I will pause the recording for a few minutes and then come back when it is free. So just past 1 minute, okay, but it will take about 5 to 10 minutes to complete the query. Okay, guys, maybe next check will be like I'll show you the what is the elapsed. Okay, I'm pausing the video now. I can see the query is successfully completed here, status, and the result is model is created. Let's check the job information. So, okay, it run only for 2 minutes. You can see the duration, but it will take 5 to 10 minutes, but that's fine. So we have minutes, and in the results, the model is created. Either you can click on the go to model or you can expand this. So this is the logistic regression, and you can see the training. Let's before that, let me check the progress. Model is good. So go to model, that is what we did. Let's move on to the evaluation. Okay, here you can see uh, the training table. In table format, you can see the total of 9 iterations. Yes, so and initial the data loss was 0.64 and finally it was 0.07 and the learning curve is gone beyond 25.6 from 0.5. Huge difference and there is some difficulty taking longer time. Okay, that's fine. Okay, let's move on to this training. You can view this and in the evaluation, toggle this for better view. In the evaluation, you can see the threshold, precision, recall, everything is zero and accuracy is 90%. Weapon score, log loss. And here, let's see this positive cross threshold. Once I move this, you can see all the graphs will get changed. Keep observing. And you can see this. Just a small change 0.02 as a positive class, completely changing the precision recall curve and precision recall by threshold. The recall at 1 and recall at precision at 1. The first graph where it got you. Okay, so let's see the confusion matrix looking good. Double. Okay, next. Yes, schema information. So predicted value bounces around. Let's get into this task six and see. Select the performance criteria. Okay, compare ROC curve. And I would recommend you to pause the video and get into this discussion, get into this information and understand what is the relationship. Okay. Now, this is the time for the evaluation. Here they have given the case studies also. I can say this. But now let's get into the evaluation mode. Right now we have created the model. That is the first step. You can see this create or replace model. Now with this, we'll move on to this is the whole query in single frame. You can see this, but in left side it is given overlap. But in right side, you can see everything is in single. Okay. Now you can see the query. This is going to process 41.76 MB of data, but it has to go on run. Now evaluation started. See first ROU EUCZ design. The design reference it's around above 70%. Okay, so looking good. So model is decent. That is what we saw. Okay, check the model performance. Looking good. So now let's improve the model performance with feature engineering. Add some new features and create a second machine learning model called machine learning model support 2. Okay. Now I'm copying this whole code, and this one will change the some parameters. Okay, let me put it in. You can see it in a single. Oh, this is top. Okay, this is top. Print it in a single view. But I would recommend you to pause the video. Okay, let me slowly scroll down. Now create with select select class and group by. Okay, so let me run the code. Let's see how long will it take to run the code. Uh, Create class. So this is going to create a second model underscore model by using the following data. And you can see the select class and stuff with the new features. Adding new features and the group by the following features. Okay. So again, this is going to take 5 to 10 minutes, but previously we saw it took only 2 minutes. What I will do is like I will pause the video for a moment, then come back over here. Model is very not, not getting it. Okay, I'll pause the video for now, and I will come back once the results are getting ready. Okay, I see the query is completed. So let's get into the information. Okay, now the job information. So it took about 3 minutes, and it's filled, and some other information you can see it. Let's get in the results. Go to the model, and you can see the same here. This model over here, model 2. Let me model this, and this is again a logistic regression. First one, the logistic regression. You can see the training, graphical representation. You can pause the video and get into the details. Graphical representation of it and learning graph has been dropped after the sixth iteration. The evaluation, okay, and you can see the aggregate metrics, first in class, native class, the session report, scores threshold, ROC, and item counts as well. We know this, we have changed the schema. Compare the first model's schema and second model schema. The first model schema is having only two features and one label or the target value, and second parameter is having the features. That is the difference. Let's go back to this query. Okay, after this query, you can see, you can pause the video and get into this information. Let's check the progress. Now let's evaluate the new models. Now the model is created. Now we are going to evaluating the second model. So paste it over here. And again, I cannot bring it in a single view. I want you to pause the video and get into this query. Run this. You can see the select query and the model evaluation for the second model and all other information that. Okay. So let's see the results. Now the model is good. Previously we received, I hope previously we received the model as decent. Okay, here it is for the second model. Let me navigate back. Let me go to top. I will show. Yeah, here you can see the model is 72% ROC AUC. That was decent. Where now the model is moved to better performance, saying that model is good. Let's check the progress. Now we will predict with the new visitors come back and purchase. Let's pick the model now. Here, again, let me run this code and you can see the sunlight, all visitors, query got completed. So before we see the results, I want you to go through this SQL query. Okay, you can pause the video and go to the SQL query, then select from, where, and group by, and finally the order. Okay, now let me open the results and you can see the predictable buy will buy on return visit. This is the label, probability, unique session ID, will return, and all other information from the country with referral and person. Okay, I'll check the progress anyway. This is going to fast, but the understanding is first you understand the query and then get your understanding better. This is what you need to understand based on the predicted label. So this is yes, predicted will buy on return visit. You can see the first point here, and this one is 170, and will buy on return visit. The second option, probability yes or no, probability in the confidence of the type. Now results. I want you to go through these results and understand what this is. Additional information about add warm equal to true and retrain your new model. So all these things we can try it out. Other data sets to explore. We have other data sets. BigQuery public data name star BigQuery. Instead, okay, let's just do this step. This is an optional step, but let's do. We already got the 100 by 100, but for better understanding, we'll do it again. So here, explore, add data, star project by name, BigQuery, public data, on star. So you got this here. So you can see the data over here. Okay. So all public data we can see. Okay, so close this and let's see data. As previously we didn't open this. So here we have used e-commerce data. Basically, this is what we have for this whole exercise. Now, let's test Emerson without having proceed to my notes. Okay. Thank you for joining this session and have a great day.